When I first started doing YouTube, I felt like I had to make like everything aesthetic. And I started looking back and I'm like, why am I spending so much money on these things? Welcome to my channel. My name is James, and today I want to go over a number of pieces or a number of things that I just don't really spend money on. So number one is going to be undergarments. And I feel like a grandfather or a grandmother when I'm referring to the term undergarments, but I'm specifically talking about socks, tank tops, and underwear. And I'll start with socks first because I think this one is probably got the most asterisks and probably is going to have like the most amount of controversy. I'm talking about the socks that you wear to go around the city and walk around and things like that. For me, I love the Uniqlo, just regular thin kind of dressy, not dressy socks. And they're like 4 for $15. Like to me, that is like the perfect price. But I used to be the person that would go and buy stuff from Anonymousism, or I would get them from American Trench. And you get these like made in USA, which I think is really important, but like they just never fit me the way that I wanted. And at the end of the day, they're white socks and they're gonna get gross. I walk outside with them and it's just like, I found myself spending $25, $30 on socks that just weren't working for me and I didn't love them. I will add a little bit of an asterisk with that though, because if you are like a hiker or if it's like the dead of winter and you want to invest in like a decently nice pair of wool socks, like icebreakers or something like that, I totally get that. And as I'm a cyclist, I do like the super, super thin socks for like these really, really hot days that are moisture wicking. And when it comes to like wearing a suit or just kicking around the city and stuff like that, I don't feel the need to go and buy like these nice expensive good socks. I will say I just went online and looked at the Bomba socks, and this is not sponsored at all. The Bomba socks are like ridiculously expensive, but my brother, who I would consider a relatively frugal person, swears by them. And he actually will, when they rip, he'll reach out to them and they'll send him a new pair. So that's actually super cool. So, I mean, if I am going to invest in socks, maybe I'll invest in Bomba socks. But as of right now, I just don't understand the need to spend really, really expensive money on these like high-end expensive socks. Tank tops. And for me, tank tops are the biggest one because I just recently started wearing the Hanes tank tops and I love them. Victoria's not a big fan because they're a little bit thinner and they're like kind of see-through in a way, but I'm using them as like undershirts. I already know that if I wear them, they're going to be a one wear and then put into the washing machine or put into the hamper. And they're just perfect. Like for $20, you get 6 pairs. I have the Uniqlo ones as well, but I don't necessarily feel the need to buy the Uniqlo ones now. They're 3 times the price of the Hanes ones. And just for something like that, it's just like, why do you need to have this designer or this high-end Egyptian cotton, this or that? I don't really understand it. And for me, I just recently decided that I was like, I'm done. I'm a Hanes guy. Those are things that I like, and that's basically what I'm gonna wear. Underwear. And I'm not saying go out and buy like shabby, gross underwear. Like you still want to wear nice underwear, but I used to go to like Neiman Marcus or Nordstrom Rack and get like really nice, I don't even remember what the brands were, like $50 a pair of underwear, which is wild. And I don't know why I was doing that. However, they would wear out just as quick as the Uniqlo ones that I just bought now. And the Uniqlo ones have been great. I get the cotton ones. I get like the traditional length or like the regular length cotton boxer briefs. And they've been perfect. I'm not one to like go out and wear like polyester or like the Airism ones. It's just not my thing. But the classic cotton ones I think are great. And I just don't get why you would buy more expensive underwear that is cotton as well. Again, I do kind of get if you're getting wool or something along those lines. But those are just things, again, that I just don't necessarily see the need. And especially for the amount that you wear them and how disposable they are. It just, for me, go cheap. They've been perfect for me and I've really loved them. Number 2 is going to be expensive toiletries. And I'm not saying that you need to go and just buy the cheap Dove or whatever it is, but I just found myself like I would go to like, again, Neiman Marcus and I'd get the Malin and Gots and I would get the shampoo, I would get the moisturizer, and I would get the soap and everything like that. And I just realized like, this isn't helping my skin any more than if I just bought CeraVe and just regular soap. So I found myself being like, why am I spending $30 to $35 or $18 to $35 on this stuff where I could go to Target and I can get CeraVe stuff, or I can get like a natural option that they have there. I started using, instead of using like the Malin and Go shampoo, I use like the Essentials or whatever that Victoria uses. It's still sulfate free. It's still fine. My hair is still great. And then in regards to moisturizer, I used to use the Malin and Go's like SPF 30 moisturizer. and it was so expensive. It was like 18 or 30 bucks or whatever. I don't remember the exact prices, but now I've started to use the CeraVe SPF 50, and like I'm not noticing any much of a difference, and it is literally half the price. So I just find myself being like, why am I spending all this money on like moisturizers and shampoos and things like that? Like, I mean, maybe the smell is a little bit better, but I don't know. I just think you're buying it for the sake of the aesthetic, and it's not actually that much better. Designer jewelry. And I understand that people like chrome hearts. I wore a lot of chrome hearts at one point in my life. I just can't be trusted to keep rings on my fingers. And I get like why you'd want a chrome hearts or like a Tiffany's ring or this or that. And I completely understand the reason why you'd want that. And I think that is cool. Like the memory of it, you get the experience, you get things like that. But I found myself having so much more fun just like going to an estate sale or going to a thrift store or even going to like a local like artist jeweler and buying something from them. I find myself really enjoying that a lot more. Don't get me wrong, like a chrome hearts nail ring is super cool. It's definitely recognizable and I'd love to have mine back. But I paid like 900 bucks or I don't know exactly how much I paid for a silver ring. And although it's designer, although it's cool and stuff like that, it's like I like the memory of me buying this in like northern New Hampshire from like a random guy and having a conversation with the reason why I bought it. Or I was in Italy a couple of years ago and Victoria bought this ring and this bracelet from this place called Mind, M-I-N-D. It was in Rome jewelry. And it was just like, that stuff was so much cooler. It was artisanal. It was a little bit more fun. And I just think the idea of spending that much money on jewelry is like wild just for the name and the designer. And most of the time, if you're getting like Margiela jewelry or you're getting like Louis Vuitton jewelry, that stuff like isn't actually even jewelry anymore. It's like stainless steel that's got like a coating on it. And to me, it's just not worth that price. And again, I kind of like the idea of having my own memories. I like the uniqueness of having your own thing. And I just think like spending a lot of money on designer jewelry is kind of a waste of money. Designer wallets. And when I say designer wallets, I'm referring to like Louis Vuitton, Montblanc, things of that nature. Getting a nice leather wallet from like Ashland Leather, or I have a Bellroy wallet right now. I just think like you don't need to go and spend $600, $700, $800 on a wallet. And in these EDC videos, it's like luxury EDC, and there's always a Louis Vuitton wallet or a Gucci wallet or a Fendi wallet or something like that. And I just like look at that and I'm like, you spend $700 on a wallet that, yeah, and I'm happy that you have it. And I think it's great, and congratulations on your splurge and everything like that. But like, I'd rather have like 2 pairs of pants or like a cool ass jacket. For me, it's just not worth it. I like my Bellroy. I do love the Ashland Leather wallets as well. And I just think for like $50 to $100, you can get an amazing wallet. And for that matter, for $20, you can get an amazing wallet as well. It's just to spend over $100 or over $200 or whatever the number that you think is expensive to buy a designer wallet, to me is just a wild decision. And it's not something that I would ever do or I will ever do again. Designer sneaker collabs. And I'm not calling out designer sneakers, which I do think is wildly expensive as well. However, I own a few different pairs of designer level sneakers. What I don't get is like the Adidas for Samba Gucci's or Solomon for Maison Margiela. One that blows my mind completely is On Cloud Loewe. I think Loewe makes awesome stuff. I think On Cloud makes awesome stuff. How are you getting a $700 running shoe? I don't know, wild to me. Yeah, you're getting a little bit of a unique design. Yeah, you're getting some cool stuff. But like, I don't understand how a New Balance is $1,150 just because it says Miu Miu on it. Don't get me wrong, they're freaking cool as hell, but I'd rather just have like real Miu Miu or like real Prada or something like that. So for me, it's just that much money on a pair of designer shoes that are like a collab that aren't really actually designer, I think is just something that I don't really want to spend the money on. I don't think it's a really great investment, and it's not something that I'm going to do. But those are my 5 things. We're making this video a little short because it was a long one the other day. Let me know what are things that you're just like, listen, I spent the money on before. I'm not doing it again. I don't want to do it again. And leave a comment below because I'd love to hear it. But thank y'all for coming. We'll chat soon. Later.